friends.
Good evening.
I am J.H. Merchant and I am a yoga teacher. I have learnt my yoga from the Yoga Institute at Santa Cruz, which is the oldest institute in the world. It's about 90 years old, and thereafter I have taken a diploma from Mumbai University in yoga. So today we will talk about yoga step by step. Now, what is yoga? Can anyone tell me what is the definition of yoga?
Union of body and mind.
Union of body and mind. Anything else? Then also it is union of our soul with the higher divinity. So there are two definitions. One, what as I said, is body and mind, communion of body and mind, and the other is union of our soul with the higher divinity. So that is the definition of yoga. Now Ashtanga yoga, which was introduced by Sage Patanjali, you must have heard about Patanjali, is very popular. He introduced Ashtanga yoga, which is divided into 8 steps. Now generally when people say that I do yoga, they are only doing asana or pranayama, but yoga is divided into 8 steps. I will write down what are the 8 steps here, and then I will explain to you one by one. First is, can anyone say what is it? Yama.
Niyama.
Second, Niyama. Third,
I don't know the sequence, but Sauch and other.
yeah, I'll tell you. Yama, Niyama, Asana, fourth is Pranayama, that is the breathing exercises. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pratyahar. And then sixth is Dharana.
Same like meditation.
Yeah. The Dharana is concentration.
Concentration.
Then next is Dhyana, that is meditation.
Okay.
And the final in the 8th final is Samadhi. That is the when the soul is liberated. Samadhi. So these are the 8 steps of Ashtanga yoga. Okay, so today we will discuss about this 8 steps of yoga, which makes the yoga complete. Now, as I told you, if you are practicing only asana and pranayama, you are not doing yoga in total. Okay, so first is yama. Yama is, if you tell what is yama, yama is don'ts, means certain things which we are not supposed to do in our life. That is yama. Then niyama is the do's, certain things which we are supposed to do. Now before we proceed further, we will first talk about the first 2 steps and then we will go to the asana pranayama. So yama is don'ts. Now what we are not supposed to do as per Ashtanga yoga is, first yama is ahimsa, which is the reverse of hinsa. Now hinsa we know, like ahimsa means not to harm anyone, including your own self, by thoughts, words and actions. Okay. Now generally people think that if I harm someone, I do it only physically, physical abuse. No, but even if you are hurting someone by your thoughts or your words or your action, it is hinsa, and that includes your own self. Because sometimes what happens, people they think negative, which has a bad effect on their health, and they harm their own self. Actually they do it unaware, but it harms your own self when you go into negative thinking. So actually you are doing hinsa on your own self. So ahimsa means not to harm others as well as yourself by thoughts, words and actions. Okay, that is ahimsa. Then next is ahimsa satya. Satya is the reverse of asatya. Means actually it is the truth which ultimately prevails. Because they say no that अंत में हमेशा सत्य की जीत होती है और असत्य की हार. So even if you are concealing something, ultimately one day it will surface and it will be exposed. So Satya has a lot of power. Now Gandhi ji had used these two tools, Ahimsa and Satya were the two main tools Gandhi ji had used to gain freedom, independence from the Britishers. So that is the importance of Ahimsa and Satya. Now next is Ahimsa, Satya, and then it is Asteya. Asteya is non-stealing. Non-stealing. Now what do you mean by non-stealing? Can anyone tell me?
See, coveting something from others is also
Right.
Any idea?
Non-stealing doesn't mean that you are only stealing a physical object, but suppose you किसी का कुछ right है and you are not giving that right to that person, or if someone else's credit. Now suppose what I have learned from Yoga Institute, I say that it is my this thing idea. No, that is also asteya. So whatever belongs to someone else, what is due to someone else has to go to that person. If you do not follow that, then you are doing. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So it doesn't only mean that you physically grab something and do chori, but it is the chori of so many other things also, ideas also, or if someone else's credit you take, or someone's cash you take, or किसी का हक है तो आपने नहीं दिया उसको, तो वो भी, that is also aste. So that is third. We are talking about yama. And the fourth one is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya generally they say celibacy, but in yoga what we are taught is that do not involve yourself in immoral sex and excess. That is brahmacharya. That doesn't mean that a person who is practicing yoga should not get married or should not live a family life, because this Asta Yoga is for a householder yogi. Okay, so that is what it means in brahmacharya. And finally it is aparigraha. Aparigraha is non-holding. Non-holding of what?
Non-stocking. See, I accumulate things, thinking that it will be helpful for me in future.
Right.
By doing that, I am preventing somebody to enjoy
Exactly.
it at the moment.
Right. But besides collecting things materialistically, you should also not hold the things on the mental level. So non-holding on materialistic level and mental level is asteya. Because what happens, if you are holding on to something, again you are harming yourself. Generally we hold on to the negative memories, और इसने ऐसा मुझको किया, ऐसा नुकसान किया, या मेरा नुकसान हो गया, या इसने मुझको ऐसा सताया. So actually we are holding on to those negative memories which is harming us. So best is let go.
Now,
Yes.
suppose what you are teaching us
Yes.
is a knowledge.
Yes.
If we go to that upper then we have to leave this knowledge also.
No, knowledge is something.
Aparigraha.
Knowledge is something which you can retain, But we are basically talking about those things which are harming you.
I mean, yeah.
Basically, those things which are harming you, we should let
Unnecessary clutter.
because it jams your mind. You know, unnecessarily you are filling your mind with unnecessary things, thoughts which are going against you. So just release them. Release of the negative thoughts. So materialistically also and mentally also, you should not hold the things. So that is what it means by yama. So this we have covered now. Any questions on this yama? I repeat once again what are the yamas. We start with, does anyone remember?
Ahimsa, Satya,
Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya and Aparigra. 5. Now as there are 5 yamas, there are 5 niyamas also. Now niyamas means what we are supposed to do. This is what we were not supposed to do. This is what we are supposed to do. Niyama. So what we are supposed to do in our life, niyama is first, is I'll tell you. Yama, niyama. First is Sauch. Sauch is purity of body and mind. It does not mean only purity of body, but it means the purity of mind also. That is Sauch. So actually, when you say what are the impurities of the body? Toxins. Toxins. Achha, how toxins accumulate? Toxins, how toxins accumulate in the body? By taking a wrong diet, also by wrong thinking. So if you are thinking in the wrong direction, then the toxins are created in your body, and that is the impurity of the body. But impurity of the mind has got lot of impurities. Lots. Bolo, one by one.
thinking ill of others
Hmm.
is bad.
Hmm.
Then thinking of harming somebody is
Jealousy.
bad. There is
Jealous.
some harm.
See, in yoga terms, we call it as first is kama. Kama is
Kama,
lust,
krodha,
lust,
Calm, yeah.
krodh,
krodh,
anger.
machar,
Kama, krodh, matsar is ego.
jealousy.
Huh. Kama, krodh, lobh, greed,
Yeah.
moh, attachment,
Moha.
and matsar.
And much.
These are the 5 main. Kama, krodha, lobh, moh and matsar. Is the meaning known to every one of you all?
Yeah.
Huh?
What is
You know,
the meaning of last one?
matsar
Master.
is ego. See, kama is lust, krodh is anger, moh is, lobh is greed, moh is attachment. You should not get attached to anything. Otherwise, you will always suffer in life. So, non-attachment. And matsar is ego. Ego always leads to a downfall. You know that. Everyone knows that. Because if a person thinks that I am doing this, it is not correct. It is someone else who is ruling this world. We are only the instruments. The doer is someone else. Okay. So that is the 5 yamas, niyamas.
Niyama.
Huh? And the first one, Sauch. And the second is Santosh. Now Santosh actually is a very, वो बोलते हैं ना, जैसे सबसे बड़ी दौलत में से एक दौलत जो भगवान ने इंसान को दी है,
Samadhan.
Samadhan.
satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Because if you don't have satisfaction, irrespective of whatever you have in life,
You can't.
you will never be happy.
Contentment.
Contentment is very important.
Yeah.
Contentment is very important. Otherwise what happens, you know, in this rat race that people are joined, you know, ये एक गाड़ी लिया तो पड़ोसी ने नया गाड़ी लिया तो फिर मेरा गाड़ी छोटा हो गया, या देयर इज नो एंड, एक का दो, दो का चार, चार का आठ, देयर इज नो एंड. यू कैन गो ऑन काउंटिंग. द एक्चुअल हैप्पीनेस एंड कंटेंटमेंट कम्स फ्रॉम विद इन. सो व्हेन यू आर हैप्पी विथ व्हाट यू हैव इन लाइफ, then you are happy. Otherwise that turmoil goes on and on and on till your life ends. The life will end, but your greed never ends. There is no end to greed. Okay, so that is Santosh. And then the third is Sauch, Santosh, and then Tapa. Tapa is, try to understand what is Tapa. Tapa is actually your capacity to bear the थिंग्स विच आर नॉट फेवरेबल टू यू, जैसे सहन शक्ति, तकलीफ़ों को सहने की शक्ति, योर टॉलरेंस टू बेयर द एडवर्सिटीज ऑफ लाइफ, रेजिलियंस,
bounce back from the
रेजिलियंस, सहन शक्ति जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं. ओके, दैट इज तप. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, यू नो, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, if you try to keep yourself in comfort zone all the time, if a person tries to keep himself in the comfort zone all the times, he will find it difficult. Why? Because when the problems arise, he will not be able to face. He is not used to that adversity, na? So do not try to keep yourself in the comfort zone all the time, because problems are an integral part of our life. They have to come. The ups and downs are compulsory in everyone's life.
You have to face it.
You have to face them, but that the capacity to face them comes only when you are practicing tapa. Tapa means a little hardship. थोड़ा अपने आप को तकलीफ में रखना है. Do not try to keep yourself in comfort zone all the time. Otherwise what happens? You become used to that comfort only, and when the problem comes, you find it very difficult to handle them.
Yeah, then you run away.
So bearing a little taklif in life is very necessary. That is the meaning of tapa. Is that meaning clear? Tapa? And the fourth is swadhyay. Swadhyay is study of the self. You have to make a own study of yourself. Now actually what happens, you know, that according to yoga and according to like what most of us believe, that we are born with some purpose. We are born with some purpose in this life. We have not come here by chance or by fluke. Okay, so now everyone has to decide his goal. Goal is very important in life. Without goal, a person goes nowhere. You don't land or reach any वो बोलते हैं ना मंजिल without a goal. Okay, so goal is very necessary. Also you should have certain priorities in your life. You have to have certain priorities in your life. Now according to what we have learned, I have learned from this yoga institute, there are your priorities. I will tell you. First is priority towards self.
Family.
Second is near and dear ones, that is family. Third is work and workplace. Fourth is friends and relatives. And fifth is society and nation. Now here comes a question that if I am giving first priority to myself, am I not selfish? But yoga says that unless you take care of your own self, you cannot take care of others. Correct? Only if you are in a position to take care of your own self, that you will be able to help others. If you yourself need, how can you help others? And then second comes near and dear ones. Then third comes work and workplace, which is also very important. Then friends and relatives, and society and nation. So ये सबका कुछ ना कुछ हक है आपके ऊपर, but you should follow this priority. For example, if I am having some problem with my own self, and if one of my relatives is also not well, first I have to take care of me, and then I have to attend to the. So is that priority clear?
Yeah.
So now we were talking about Swadhyay. So when we come to Swadhyay, study of the self, what study exactly are we making? We have to see whether we are following the right path, so that we will reach our goal and we will be able to achieve our priorities. Now for example, इधर करेगा, इसका इंडिया say this is yourself, huh? And your goal is here, as I told you that we should have some goal. So you have to move in the right direction to achieve your goal. Suppose you want to reach your goal, you will have to move in this direction. But what if you start moving in this direction?
If you go away from the goal.
You go away. So what happens now? Everyone knows that we have come here for a limited time. One day to everyone has to go. So we have limited time with us. Now if I am moving in the wrong direction, I have to reach this goal in the limited time. Now if I am moving here in this direction, I am making it all the more difficult for me to reach the goal. Why? Firstly, I am increasing the distance, and secondly, I will fall short of time. If to reach from here to here, it will take less time, but to reach from here to here, it will take more time. Is this point clear to all of you? So we have to move in the right direction. This is wrong, this is correct. So always remember that to reach the goal, so Swadhyay means sit down and ponder whether you are moving in the right direction of your life to achieve what you have made as a goal in your life, or whether you are going in the opposite direction. Because the more you go in the opposite direction, the more difficult it will become for you to reach the goal. Why? Because we have got limited time with us. So that is Swadhyay. And then finally it is Ishwar Pranidhan, which is very, very important. Ishwar Pranidhan. I will tell you what is the meaning of it. Ishwar Pranidhan means total surrender to Lord. Total surrender. So the question arises, what is total surrender? What do you mean by total surrender? Total surrender means I have to do my duty with most sincerely, do your duty sincerely, without ego, with full faith, and leave the result to God. 4 things you have to remember, because nothing comes in life without effort. Everything that you want in life, you have to make an effort. ऊपर से कुछ गिर के आपकी गोद में नहीं गिरेगा. Only when you make effort, you may reach success or fate. But effort is a must. So, for Ishwar Pranidhan is make sincere effort and without ego, because the moment you say that I am doing, God does not like egoistic people. Yoga says that everything that happens with the will of God. Okay, so if you say that I am doing, remember you are only an instrument, doer is someone else. Someone else is managing the entire show. You are just doing your role. You are just doing your role. Now suppose if you say that I have done something for someone. So yoga says that if you would not do that, God will appoint someone else to do that. The work will happen. In any case, the work will not stop. वो आदमी का जो भला होना है वो तो होगा ही. अगर आपने क्या नहीं किया तो किसी और ने करेगा. So never think that you are the doer. You are just given an opportunity which you grab or you miss. किसी का भला करने की बात करते हम. Okay, so that is Ishwar Pranidhan is do your duty without sincerely, without ego, with full faith. Now faith is something which is very important. Faith can move mountains. Okay, if there is no faith, then half the battle is lost. Because they say that if you move one step towards the Lord, the higher divinity, He comes 100 steps towards you. So always cultivate a strong faith कि जो हुआ अच्छे के लिए हुआ, जो हो रहा है वो भी अच्छे के लिए हो रहा है, और जो आगे होगा वो भी अच्छे के लिए होगा. That faith you have to cultivate. So that is, do your duty sincerely without to fill with faith, and finally leave the result to God. Why leave the result to God? Because He is all present, all knowing, फ्लॉलेस जज, उसके जजमेंट में कोई मिस्टेक का चांस नहीं है, एंड ही इज ऑल पावरफुल. नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल फॉर द हायर डिविनिटी, नथिंग. It may be difficult for you, me, X, Y, Z, but for him, he just has to say be and things happen. So that is Ishwa Pranidhan. So we have covered Niyama also. Now these topics may not take much time. Asanas, you know, are certain physical exercises which most of us are doing also, and they help to increase the circulation of the blood. They tone our muscles, and they have got so many other benefits also. They massage the internal organs. And asanas, some other day I can show you. So any question on asanas anyone wants to ask? I think most of you all know what is asanas. These two are something which is rarely discussed, so I have allotted more time to this too. This I will try to cover in a short time. So asanas. Now pranayama. Pranayama is, what is prana? Prana is breath. जो प्राण बोलते हैं ना, ऑक्सीजन जो हम लेते हैं ना. एंड यमा, प्राणा, प्राणा एंड यमा इज कंट्रोल, रेगुलेशन और कंट्रोल. So pranayama means control of the breath. How you control your breath is very important. How you control your breath is very important, because if you are breathing in a right manner, then you, all of us, you know what are the benefits. You inhale more oxygen, you throw out more carbon dioxide, and that oxygen reaches each and every cell of the body, and so on, so on, so on. I think all of us here sitting here know about it. So pranayama also, there are various types of pranayama. But the mother of the pranayama is Anulom Vilom, they say, alternate nostril breathing, which also I can show you some other time when the time permits. So anyone has got any question on pranayama?
Prana is, can we call it energy?
Prana is energy, oxygen, which we get from the universe, and yama is the regulation or control. So how you control your breath is pranayama, by doing certain techniques. It also helps to calm your mind, and very important that when you do pranayama, you are able to go, you make yourself ready for the further steps. That is very important. If you are practicing pranayama and then you are doing your meditation becomes easy. So when you do pranayama, you are making yourself ready for the further steps of you. So we have covered this also. Okay. And now we go to pratyahar. Now what is pratyahar? Now these four things are mostly related to the body, and these three things are related to the mind. These four things are related to body, and these three things are related to mind. Now this one in the center is the bridge. Is the bridge between the body and the mind. Now what pratyahar means is controlling your senses. Controlling your senses is pratyahar. We have got 5 senses. Can you tell which are the 5 senses of?
Our visual,
Visual, touch, auditory, taste,
and smell.
smell. So control of this is pratyahar. Okay. So when you practice this, slowly you come to a stage where it becomes easy for you to control your senses. Otherwise what happens, you know, a person who is not following all this, उसको जाएगा वेडिंग में और वो आइसक्रीम लाके दिया, ये लाके दिया, वो ठंडा गरम मीठा खारा तीखा सब. That awareness is not there. But if you are practicing yoga in the right sequence, step by step, you can control yourself. आपके आगे कितना भी आएगा तो that awareness is there that this is going to harm me. So automatically you will not feel like eating. Not that you are curbing your desire. The desire doesn't arise only. खाया जितना limit में what your body can tolerate, you will eat. and you will feel happy. Then again you have to remember that santosh.
Yeah.
You are happy with what you had. That lobe is not there, that I should have more, just because it is free, I am getting it, I should have more and more, then you will suffer. So control of senses is pratyahar. Then we go to dharana. Dharana is the pre-step of dhyana. So dharana is what? Dharana is concentration. First you have to practice concentration, then only you will be successful in dhyana, that is meditation. So if you have learnt meditation somewhere by someone, then generally they ask you to focus your mind on a particular light or a point, and then close your eyes, and with full concentration you get involved into that. So dharana is concentration. In short, dhyana of course is meditation, which most of you all know. Meditation has become very popular these days, and it is very necessary also. Why is it necessary? Because nowadays we are leading a very fast, stressful life, and meditation is the antidote of stress.
Calming the mind.
मेडिटेशन इज द एंटीडोट ऑफ स्ट्रेस. अगर लाइफ में स्ट्रेस को कम करना है, एंड इफ यू डू रेगुलर मेडिटेशन, द स्ट्रेस ऑटोमेटिकली कम्स. इट इज प्रूव्ड साइंटिफिकली. It is scientifically proved that if you are regularly practicing meditation, your stress levels come down, and there are a number of benefits. Also your body becomes healthy, because body and mind are one unit. As we just discussed in the beginning, union of body and mind is yoga, or union of Atma with Paramatma is also yoga. Okay, so then we have learnt about dharana, and samadhi actually is the last stage where it is liberation of the soul. Now actually for a householder yogi, we are not practicing anything about this, but those who are very much advanced, जो पर्वत पे जाते हैं और सब कुछ छोड़ देते हैं, and they do only, they get one with the higher divinity, those yogis, they go into samadhi, and ultimately the purpose is liberation of your soul. आत्मा की मुक्ति जो मिलती है ना, इस शरीर से जो आत्मा की मुक्ति मिल जाती है, उसको समाधि बोलते हैं. दैट इज समाधि. बट फॉर अ हाउस होल्डर योगी, like a person who is living in this world, in a family, and also earning and working and living a family life, for them this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 steps also, if he follows, it's enough.
What is this state of samadhi?
Samadhi, the purpose is liberation of your soul. आत्मा और परमात्मा का मिलन जब हो जाता है, आपको मुक्ति मिल जाती है. ये संसार के दुख और पेन और सफरिंग से, when you are liberated from the pain and sufferings of this world, then you go into, when you go into samadhi, you are liberated of all your.
That is samadhi का जो state है.
हाँ.
What is the state of mind during?
This state of mind is absolutely nil. कुछ भी नहीं है उसके अंदर. कोई भी चीज ना पॉजिटिव है ना नेगेटिव है. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू दिस इज जनरली डन बाय दोज योगीज हु आर एब्सोल्युटली एट द एडवांस स्टेज, हु हैव लेफ्ट एवरीथिंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड. जो त्याग बोलते हैं ना, कंप्लीट त्याग करके और जो चले जाते हैं और वो समाधि में जाते हैं, एंड दे डोंट ईट फॉर सो मेनी डेज, दे डोंट ड्रिंक, एंड स्टिल दे survive. So basically when we are talking about a householder yogi, we are not practicing this samadhi. We are taking care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So next time if someone says that I am doing yoga, he has to take care that he is taking care of these 7 steps, then your yoga is complete. If you are doing only asana and pranayama, then the benefit goes to the body, here the benefit goes to the mind. But this, if you are doing yoga in total, which is beneficial to your entire life. It will change yourself. It will there will be a complete big change in your life if you are following this. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.